Howdy folks, welcome back to my channel and to another review. Today I'll be talking to y'all about the book The Sisters Brothers by Patrick Dewitt. Okay, enough with the fake southern accent. Let's go back to my regular fake American accent. So, The Sisters Brothers by Patrick Dewitt. I hauled this book not too long ago, and actually what I said in the haul pretty much holds up. Usually when I haul books, I don't really know what they're about, so it's pretty much an educated guess what I say about them in the haul, but I was really right this time. The book takes place in the Old West, and it's about two brothers, Charlie and Eli Sisters, and they are guns for hire. And their boss is a man called the Commodore, and he sends them to California from Oregon to track and kill a man called Herman Kermit Worm. And the book is basically their journey there, their relationship, what happens to them on the way, and the very interesting turn of event that happens when they actually find Worm. Now, it's kind of funny because in my haul I said that the book really gave me a Coen brother film vibe, something about the plot and the cover and everything, and I swear I had no idea when doing this haul that the Coen brothers were actually doing a film adaptation of the book. The Coen brothers are the perfect filmmakers to do this book because there is something about the book, The Sisters Brothers, that really suit their style. And this should give you enough information to know whether you're going to like this book or not, because this book is really, I think, a matter of love or hate. And I think it's safe to say that if you like the Coen brothers and their style and their films, you're going to like this book. For me, I like them. I'm a huge fan of The Big Lebowski and Fargo, but I need them in moderation. Now, to go further with this movie comparison, there are a lot of things in this book, especially in the first half, that are simply inconsequential. There is a very big change in the book from the first half and the second half. In the midpoint of the book, they reach California and they start tracking down Worm, but in the first half, it's just their journey from Oregon City to California, and there are so many things that are happening, and you could have just taken them out completely of the book and nothing would have changed. They have no actual significance when it comes to the plot. Now, usually things like that are about showing you the characters or the world of the story. But I mean, how many times do we have to see Charlie get drunk and sleeping around with every whore he can find in order for us to realize that that's his thing? It really felt like repetitions and so inconsequential because they meet people, they do stuff, and then they move on. And like I said, you could have just taken these things out of the book and nothing could have changed. Now, the reason that I'm comparing that to the Coen brothers is because these filmmakers do have the style. They do tend to put these sort of scenes in their movies. It's done maybe to kind of make the movie a bit more realistic and like life, and supposed to be maybe comedic relief or something. Now, let's not get confused. This is all on purpose. It's not like the author didn't know what to write about, so he just put a bunch of inconsequential things. It's done on purpose, and whether you like it or not is really a matter of taste. If you think that this is amusing and cool and interesting, then sure, this will be the book for you. If you'll be annoyed by these things, then you're probably not gonna like the book so much. For me, it took me a while to get used to it. I have to say that the first part of the book, as I was reading it, was kind of boring. It just feels like nothing is happening. However, as I said, in the midpoint of the book, they reach California, and from there the book really improved in my opinion because the story became a lot more cohesive. Basically, the structure was the only thing that kind of bothered me about the book, and since I already talked about it, let's move on to the thing that I actually did like about the book, because generally speaking, I did enjoy reading it. First, I do want to say, and this might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but even though at time of reading the book, I was really annoyed by these little things that just happen and then they move on, and like these inconsequential things, looking back, I do think some of them were kind of amusing. Maybe this is one of those cases where a book just needs to resonate a little bit with you after reading it and then you start to appreciate it. But for example, there was this moment right at the beginning where they see this man and nothing happens and then they move on. And then in the middle of the book, he appears again. And I was thinking, okay, now we're going to find out what's going on with him. But no, nothing happens. And then at the end of the book, this character appears again. And I was thinking, okay, now we're going to get this payoff. But no, nothing happens again. And again, if you think that this is annoying, that you won't like it, but thinking about it, after reading the book, I thought it was kind of funny and just, amusing and entertaining. And the second thing that I liked about the book was the character of Eli, who's telling the story from his point of view in first-person narrative. And he has this really nice charm to him. Like his brother Charlie, he's a brute, he's violent, he will kill you with the slightest provocation, but he also kind of tries to be a gentleman at the same time. He is not the sharpest pencil in the tool shed, but his heart is really in the right place, and there's something so charming and adorable about his attempts to better himself, to be more of a gentleman, to be more well-behaved, more of an educated man, and at that time especially. It was really heartwarming. It kind of reminded me of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which is a play based on Shakespeare's Hamlet, but from the point of view of those two titular characters who were in the original good friends of Hamlet. And while Guildenstern is very cynical, Rosencrantz is trying to make the best of a situation and to discover things, even though he kind of messes it up at the same time of discovering something really great. Yeah, it's so adorable and charming, and his naivete and the respect that he has to the wonders of the world are just so cute in a way, and so kind of heartwarming, and really remind me of Eli's character. So overall, I did enjoy the book. It was very entertaining in a Coen Brothers kind of a way. There is something a little silly and clumsy about the comedy that's also kind of dark and serious at the same time. However, I don't think this book will stay with me for a long time. I don't mean physically. I will not be giving it away anyway. It's an ebook. I meant like in my head and in my heart. It probably won't resonate with me for long. As I said at the beginning, I think a good way to know whether you're going to like or dislike this book is just to see how you relate to the Coen Brothers movies. And I hope this review kind of helped you to understand whether it will be your style or not. I say give it a chance unless you really hate those tropes that I was talking about. And now here comes my common question for the video. Has it ever happened to you that you read a book and you immediately thought about the perfect director or the perfect filmmaker who will be able to adapt this book? Other than this one, I think that for me it was Tim Burton. I cast him as a director of The Night Circus. I thought it was really his style, but the old Tim Burton, the Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice Tim Burton, not the new Dark Shadows kind of parodying himself Tim Burton. So if you have an example of your own, please write it down below. If not, just write some Coen Brothers quotes in the comment section. And that's it, guys. That's it for my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like this video, don't forget to click like to show your support. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you dare. And don't forget to wait to the very end of the video, because in the last seconds of the video, how very dramatic, there will be links to 2 other videos that I thought you guys might like. Again, thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.